What's happening, YouTube? I'm Transient. Welcome to my channel. As always, we're playing Watcher of Realms. Guys, I hope you're well. What are we today? Today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. And because it's Wednesday, this video is going to be about whether we should be summoning this weekend. Because guess what, guys? A new banner is here. And with this new banner is a new hero. And we need to consider some things as to whether we should summon. So, who do we have coming this weekend? We have the new hero, Knight Arlott, who is an infernal cultist tank. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he's a defender. Now he looks pretty cool, as you can see. Now, I think most of us will remember his images were shown to us in the 2026 roadmap. So this is what he looks like. He looks very, very cool. There have been a few videos. What was it? I think about a week and a half ago they all came out. As to his kit and what he does. I think the main things are it's got a high block with AoE damage and crowd control debuffing, i.e. with, as you can see here, burning and debuffs. So pretty cool. Now, we have quite a few defenders in the game who are very powerful. The most recent addition to the game was, in terms of big tanks, was Kagrim, who was pretty broken because he's almost unkillable. So he's very good. And I do believe this character himself also has... where is his unyielding? Does he have unyielding? There it is. Within 10 seconds, okay, in fact, let's just read his Cage of Rancor. When activated, increases the range of Soulbound Purgatory and block by 1. Based on the number of enemies inflicted with burning in range, inflicts an equal amount of burning on the target with condemnation, up to 5 stacks. Then, pulls up to 5 ground enemies in range, dealing 300% AoE damage and inflicting stun. Within 10 seconds of its duration, gains unyielding for 5 seconds upon taking fatal damage for the first time. So basically, he's a pretty powerful tank. And he's obviously, they are going to be boosting the Infernals, according at least to the 2026 roadmap. So he is the first edition of the new era of Infernals. Okay, so question is, should you summon? Now, also on the banner will be Talin, who is very, very good, very, very useful tank and marksman quality. Then you've obviously got your epics, Gluttony, who's actually very, very good, very useful, especially early on, very cool, and who is amazing. She's so unique that when you first start using her, you go, this girl's a bit weird because she's not technically attacking anybody, she's just putting ice crystals all over the place, but they are actually very, very useful, especially in places where there's a lot of enemies and they are susceptible to magic damage. Very, very good. And then you've got Selkath, who is pants. Anyway, so should you summon? Okay, this is what I think about it. Right, it's gonna be difficult. Okay, these are what the things you need to consider. So we know that there is a new Infernal, I wouldn't say meta, but they are going to be pushing a new Infernal team. Now, I don't know specifically to what end, i.e. what piece of content they're particularly pushing them for. Because if you recall, they when we had the Poison Trio pushed, they were basically pushed towards Abyss, and that was the number one place to use the Poison Trio in order to get your 60k. Now, obviously, you can use them in lots of other places, but that is what almost seemed to be like their primary place in terms of use. Now, that would mean with Knight Arlott, well, not necessarily with Knight Arlott, but with the Infernal team, either the content currently exists or the content will be coming where this Infernal compass, this Infernal strategy, Infernal team, whatever, is going to be useful for. Now, I don't know if Knight Arlott will be in it or whether he will not. But either way, he is Infernal and he's new. So, okay, so we know the Infernal team is coming. Question is, should you summon? Okay. A couple of things. He's not limited, which historically, previously, one would consider, okay, if he's not limited, you don't have to summon. But I will mention two heroes who've, when I say recently, in the last 6 months have come, who were normal heroes, but who are in almost everybody's comps for practically any piece of content. And that is Arlott and Azar, who I have neither of. I mention this all the time, it's incredibly frustrating. So, he's not going to be limited, which means you've got absolutely no guarantee that you're going to get him. So that's one. Two, based on that history of certain powerful heroes being added to the game in a way that is not guaranteed, to make it almost where you will possibly have to spend money, depending on if you're really trying to get them. Because if you miss out on that first hit of the banner hero, then you're now literally in open season where you could spend thousands in terms of summons and not get the character. Then you also have to consider what else is coming, at least in terms of rares, because he is going to be a standard invocation special divine summoning and standard invocation of spirits. Okay, so right, we know Knight Arlott is coming. That's this weekend. Now we also know that they are releasing, and the videos have come out today from content creators, Guan Yu and Sergei. Now Sergei is likely to be an Ancient exclusive, but Guan Yu is either going to be limited or your standard special invocation of spirits. Now Guan Yu looks to be quite possibly the best AoE damage dealer in the game, possibly. But even if he isn't, he's going to be very, very good. And everyone apparently wants to be using him for Matrix. So we know he's coming. And then we also know that the Assassin's Creed collaboration is coming. Now, the fact that Moonton themselves have even posted that is coming could mean, I initially thought it might be even this week. But since we know Knight Arlott is this week, and then Guan Yu and Sergei, they could be next week, or at the very least the week after. Then Assassin's Creed could be next week, or it could be 2 weeks from now, or 3 weeks. But it is right around the corner. Now with Assassin's Creed, since it's collaboration, we're going to get at least 2 new heroes, possibly 3, maybe even 4. Dracula, the Bram Stoker's Dracula, there were 4 heroes added to the game, all at once. With Assassin's Creed, it could be 2, like I said, 2 or 3 or 4. So I'm going to put Sergei to the side because he's an Ancient exclusive, likely because he is Nightmare and Chaos, so he's likely to be Ancient exclusive. So if we just work on the concept that we've got, possibly Guan Yu, Knight Arlott, and let's just say, to be conservative, 2 heroes from the Assassin's Creed collaboration. They all, well, Guan Yu and Knight Arlott, for what they do, look very, very, very powerful. And let's assume with the collaboration, they're going to be at least good to very good heroes. So you've got 4 brand new heroes coming in within the next 5 weeks, all in the next 5 weeks, all are likely to require rare summons. And this is the crux. I often say it in this game, you can't have everything. You literally can't. So, if you've been summoning and you haven't been trying to go all in on every banner, for example, the most recent ones were the Nizar banner, where I pretty much went, I didn't go all in, but I did put in all of my rares, not my diamonds, but all my rares, didn't get them. Prior to that, we had Rosalia. Rosalia is amazing. So quite a lot of people, unless you already had Nizar, would have perhaps used a lot of summons on Rosalia and maybe skipped Nizar, but unless you were trying to get dupes. So I don't think anyone's going to have a huge amount of summons. This is my free-to-play account. Let's see, I've got 53. On my main account, I've got about 100 or so, 110 rares, plus probably about 16,000 diamonds. That's basically it. So, should you summon? This is what I reckon everyone, or most people, should try and do. Realistically, if you have enough summons to try to at least get one copy of a Lego. There's no guarantee, but you got to at least attempt to get Knight Arlott. Just one attempt. Try and get him. If you can't, then move on. Of course, if you are, I don't know, flowing in cash and want to spend, then have at it. But quite a lot of people will be trying to do free to play, and if you're doing free to play, you gotta try to at least get on, at least have an opportunity at most banners where they're the decent hero. Tonight, Arlott, try and get one. I'm going to try and get one. Just going to get one hero, and I think I've got a few divines, so, oh, have I? I'm not sure. Either way, I'm going to try and get one. If I get Talin, that'll be annoying because my Talin is already A4, but if I get an A5, it is what it is. And then I'm just going to move on, and then wait for the next hero to come out. At which point will be Guan Yu, which I will most likely obviously going for, and then hopefully have some also for the Assassin's Creed collaborations. By doing that, at least I give myself an opportunity to at least try to get one. Because it's just, and if you're free to play, you just cannot go all in on every single banner. You just have to basically go, right, plan, save, put a bit towards this one, a bit towards that one, a bit towards that one. That's if you want to try and get everything. If you don't, and if you want to, for example, watch Fastidious' video on Guan Yu, he said he's going to try and get A3 for Guan Yu. But then again, he did have like 100,000 diamonds, so it's possible. But most other people do not have 100,000 diamonds, like me. So you just have to be selective. So, and because of that, I've just decided I'm going to try to get at least one of each, and then just move on, and just take my time to get duplicates. And so that's what I intend to do. And I would suggest if you're free to play, that is probably what you should try to do. Try and get one of each and then move on. So yeah, should you summon this weekend? Yeah. Summon, try once to get him. If you can't, just move on to the next weekend. And yeah. And then hopefully you'll be in a position where you've got a good chance, because as long as you've got a copy of any hero, soul stones exist. They're not easy to get, they take time, but they do exist. And also, I just find that once you've got the hero, it seems a lot easier to get another copy. It's just that getting that first one, breaking your proverbial cherry on any particular hero can be quite difficult sometimes. Anywho, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I've waffled on long enough, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Summon away. If you do see this video, I would be very interested to hear what you have decided, if you will be summoning this weekend for Night Arlott, or if you'll be skipping and seeing whether it is Guan Yu next weekend or Assassin's Creed next weekend, or whether we'll be able to save again. Other than that, yeah, I will leave it there. Guys, whatever you do, do it well. I am trending and I am out.